Alright, I'm in a Donair place. Is my lens dirty? Is that why there's a lens flare? Or am I like J.J. Abrams deliberately making lens flares? This is like the new Star Trek. This isn't a story, this is Star Trek. This is The Force Awakens. Anyways, here's what's going on. Well, I filmed a dream this morning, so you can all check that out when I post it. And then I basically just sat there going through emails, and then my parents wanted to go to my aunt's to watch the new Borat movie on her Netflix on the TV, and they're driving there, but again, I refuse to go in the car. I want to walk, I want to model, I want to show my dad he should be walking. But I haven't eaten all day, which I guess is good. They say it's good to fast all morning. I don't know. So I'm ordering a Donair before I go to my aunt's. Alright, so the woman suggested, I told her it was my first time, and she said, oh, you gotta get the original something or other. So, and she's like, what do you want on it? Chicken or beef or mixed? I'm like, I don't know, what do you suggest? She's like, definitely chicken or mixed. So this looks good. And looks like there's some sauces in it too. So people are inside there, they're already watching. It was already on when I got here. I don't really care about seeing Borat. I can watch it on my phone anytime. So I'll just eat out here. Oh, my mom said you can't bring in gluten into the house, so I put the donor on the porch here.
Yeah. And she was even more sad. She was like, I never see something like tuto. It's so sad.
All right, I should be asleep, but I'm just gonna, I gotta post on my story, right? But last night, see, that's the problem. After I posted my story, I was like, oh, I should download that. I should put it on YouTube. I should put it on Facebook. I should put it on LinkedIn. And oh, I got to put the last night's dream up or whatever. And then that all took like 12 to 12:30 or 1. And I'm like, that's not good. But then Charlotte was calling me at 10 o'clock. And I was just looking at my emails. I'm like, oh, should I answer? And then I didn't answer. And then she's like, are you busy? I'm like, I said, I'm just going upstairs to get some bread. But then she called again, so I was like, all right, I'll let her watch me eat. And I made some bread and cheese, and she's like, you shouldn't be eating that. You should be eating vegetables. I'm like, I know. She's like, didn't you eat with your parents? I'm like, I did. And I told her my mom made broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and that was all healthy. I told her that before, and then she's like, didn't you eat with your parents? Anyways, and she's like, even at night, I'm not going to let you. Anyways, what did I do today? I was sitting on the porch, and then I was kind of pouting. I was like, you know what? They started the movie without me. I'm not going to watch it at all. I'm just going to go through my emails or whatever. And then eventually, I could still hear it because I was at the table beside them. So I was like, all right, I'll sit down. Because my mom's like, the chair's there for, Auntie Susie left it for you. And my mom was sitting on the floor the whole time. So I watched the rest of the Borat movie. Wasn't bad. It's kind of funny. My aunt and dad said the funniest part was watching my mom's reactions to how gross everything was. And it kind of made me think like, I should be doing a movie like that or something. So that was good. And the girl in it was very good. And then my aunt afterwards was trying to play something on her phone, like some YouTube clips of interviews on Colbert. And I'm like, you've got YouTube on your TV. She's like, I do. And I downloaded it. And she's like, but I don't want to sign in and ruin my, her daughter's account. I'm like, no, I'll sign in. It's fine. So then, I showed them a couple of interviews on YouTube and one with that Maria woman. Oh, you saw this. I showed it to you. And then my aunt was trying to ask, Alexa, do this. And I'm like, no, you got to hold the button on the remote and speak into it. And no, don't hold it while you're talking. Anyways, I kept showing her, and finally I did. So I'm like, I am the IT guy. And then I walked home, and then I came down to the basement, and then I've just basically been staring at emails. Did I do a speed dating tonight? Oh, there's this app called Filter Off that sometimes at night they'll be like, here, chat with someone or whatever. And there's one woman in Brazil who normally lives in Toronto, but she's been in Brazil to see, why is she there? I guess she says she has family there. She's Brazilian, but she's like a travel photographer. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So an interesting person to talk to. So hopefully we'll chat tomorrow, whatever. Nice to meet people who are doing cool things. Oh, and I got a call today from some woman saying, hey, I'm calling from Tony Robbins and calling to arrange a call to talk to a coach. I'm like, I don't remember signing up, but I guess I must have signed up. I don't know. So I've got a call with one of her top guys tomorrow all right, I've got to do some homework beforehand and then talk to him about doing coaching. And I don't think I'm going to do it. I mean, it's a lot of money, and I don't even know if that's what I need. I just need to buckle down and work on my stuff for a bit. but I'll do the call with him anyways because I'm interested in how the Tony Robbins stuff works. He's one of the people that I picture it would be fun to be him. You know, Instagram memes keep saying he's got like $600 million and he owns islands and, well, period, $600 million. And then I've noticed that like he has retreats at his island and I'm like, oh, where is he doing that? Oh, he owns the island. Of course, he owns the resorts, whatever. And I'm like, that he seems like he's having a pretty fun time. And he gets to be funny and entertain people. And he's helping people. I like all that. Hopefully I can do that for people without having, maybe I should have taken psychology for years. And anyways, can't change the past. And what was I just watching? Oh, well, some clips, some ad for a podcast just a few seconds ago. And the guy saying, it's not natural to be monogamous, have a lifelong partner. Like, you can learn about yourself from relationships. But a few minutes earlier, I was just thinking, oh, man, when I was dating the first Jen, she cooked for me and we made movies together and I could have lived in the small town with her and we would have had like grown kids. So that's something that made me laugh in the Borat movie. Like, the girl who's playing his daughter, like at the end they were doing journalism together. I'm like, I could have stood with my daughter and done journalism. And as I was going through my emails today, well, firstly, I noticed that the deadline for the Ottawa Magazine nominees was 2 weeks ago. And then they had categories like podcasting and comedian. I'm like, I could have nominated myself. So I screwed up by just having all this crap sitting in my inbox. And then another email I read from a while ago, this thing called NeuroGym, and it was saying that they found that you can change your brain, like even as an adult, like even just picturing things, like imagining playing piano will strengthen that part of your brain. So it shows that, if you can practice being positive and that kind of thing, you can train yourself to be happier and more fulfilled. So I've got to just every second when I'm like, oh, I want to regret something or whatever, just got to slap myself and be like, no, just a month, right? We promised we're going to try to be positive for this month. And I'm going to try to be like religious about going to bed earlier. And so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Let's do this. Oh, and here's my new thing. I can just show a screenshot and a couple of people at once. That makes it easier. So yeah, Kiki got her work done, worked on her vision board and watched movies. All good. I'm glad you guys had a good day. You inspire me. So that question was how was your day? And that was from 12:12 a.m. yesterday. Which is another thing. I realize now that Instagram stories go into an archive, and if you forget to download or whatever for a day, you can go and download the entire day later. So maybe I should make sure I keep things like before midnight and so it's all complete one day each story. Well, what am I doing after midnight anyways? Nothing. There's nothing to be reporting on. I just wonder, can you imagine what life would have been if these phones and all this had been around in university, like when I was there, and I'd be telling these stories when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, like every day in residence, reporting on Frosh Week. I'd have that would be just unbelievable to have like pictures, like, I'd be like, or videos, I'd be like, hey, I just kissed a girl for the first time. Kissed her. Oh my God. Like instead I have diaries where I'm writing pages and stuff, but maybe in 50 years I'll be like, isn't it great that and I wanted to fill you in on what happened this morning. So I recorded my dream, pretty intense stuff, just yelling at my dad. And then I was friends with Billie Eilish and I was like, oh my God, I like her so much. I'm going to have a heart attack. That was all good. And then I woke up and I was like, it was 9:42. I'm like, oh God, I better look at the stock market. I can't sleep in through this. And I checked, and if I'd been up 10 minutes earlier, I probably would have made another $1,000 and then not lost some. And so that's why my schedule should be up at 7, go for a run or whatever. And then, at my computer, maybe have some coffee with my parents or something. And then at my computer for the stock market by 9:30, and then just churning out videos like my talk show of the day. I think I can do it. I think I can become the biggest talk show in the world and connect with people around the world. I think that's what's going to happen, right? Okay, positive thinking. Good morning, Tuesday, December 29th, 9:45 a.m. Okay, so, I just filmed myself